Morning. Harvest day 2. You excited?
Super.
So this morning, me and Kayla had to go do some attorney business. We're not attorneys. We had to go pay the guy to do the attorney business. But anyways.
I can't believe you thought you had to like say that like nobody knows. Like you're a secret attorney on the side.
Yeah, that could have been a thing. Whatever. While we were in town waiting on the attorney meeting, we got some harvest snacks, filled up the coffee stash to them over here. The guys have already started running today, running some more of that corn that we were doing yesterday. So I am going to throw this stuff in here and go hop in a semi probably.
Well, morning or afternoon, I guess. What is it? Afternoon, Brian, give me a camera here. We got a new helper today, Mason. Say hi, Mason. Say hi, everybody. Mason's helping today. So we're running corn here again, across the road from Mitterfield. Not near as good out here in the middle. Very puny. This is really droughty ground right through here. Didn't look that all year before, really, but it's.
Hi, everybody.
Hopefully, if we get a rainy day here, hopefully get these auto stealers on the snout there, so we'll have auto steer.
A drone.
What do you see?
A drone. A drone.
A drone?
Yeah.
Oh my
Flying.
goodness.
Flying.
Brian flying his drone?
I just ate some lunch, getting some acres knocked out. Life is good. Yeah, I'm gonna drive. How you doing, Mason?
Have you been flying that drone? What drone?
Oh, you see your dad over there having fun riding?
Mm-hmm.
What do you like better, the combine or the grain cart?
The combine. Hey, I've been holding that with.
You eating your cheeseburger? Have a bite? Oh, okay. I don't blame you. I'd probably eat all of it.
We got 2 minutes.
You say hi, YouTube?
Hi.
Can you say like and subscribe? Cat's got his tongue, but do us a favor and like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It would mean a lot to us, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at your dad over there falling. It's like a weirdo. Kind of getting a little bit of a creeper vibe from him. What do you think? Think he's being a little creepy? Yeah.
Yeah. on this video, so.
I hope we got more than 24 acres left on this video. So apparently I met Mason's approval. I'm a good driver, but he said he wanted to go ride with his dad, so he left. Just me in here. This is one of the fields that had the screwed up fertilizer, and much like the other one, we've been pleasantly surprised. To be honest, I banked on these kind of being 160 bushel because I thought they looked bad all year. This one's not as good as the one across the road, but it looks like we're going to be in that 180 to 185 range. Like I said, that's about 25 bushel better than we'd kind of figured. Still off the mark from where it should be. It's probably 20-25 bushel worse than I would like to see it. But I guess we'll know when we do some more fields that didn't have screwed up fertilizer. Now parts of this field, they look great. Kind of makes me wonder if this is where the fertilizer is. Have to look at the as applied map. So if you don't know what we're talking about, we had Farmer's Edge do our variable rate zones for our fertilizer, and they recommended 0 fertilizer on several parts of a couple of these fields. Kind of went against what we thought should be, but we kind of tried to trust the science, and well, to science isn't always right, apparently, because this definitely needed some fertilizer, in my opinion.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Harvest 2022. Got my co-pilot with me today. Say hi, Mason.
Hi.
And let's talk about some pipe ag. So this program is pretty simple. Mason has actually figured out a lot of it. So Mason, show me where the combine's at up there.
Right there.
What? Where?
Right there.
The green thing?
Yep.
Okay, and what happens when it turns red?
That means you dump.
Yeah, when the combine turns red, it's full. So down here, the Gleaner is the green icon. And you can see he just dumped. There's nothing on there. And as he harvests, this progress bar will fill up. It'll go from green to yellow to red when he's full. And when he's full, what do?
We have to dump.
We have to go get the cart underneath him. So right now, it also shows my scale. And it's kind of nice because the combine operator can see my scale. The truck drivers can see my scale. So everybody knows, you know, about what's going on.
And they can see when we're from the farming scales.
Yes, whatever you just said. So over here, you can click on tickets, and this screen actually shows all the ticketing information for the loads we've hauled out of this field so far.
Yep.
And that is input by either Brad or Brian or myself, whoever happens to be driving a truck to Cargill. So all that information, you can see our destination was Chillicothe. We're spot selling corn today. And there are the information off all those tickets, the nice legal weights, and the test weight of the corn, the moisture. So up here is kind of nice. It shows the average moisture for all the loads out of this field. 20.2 is the average moisture so far.
We're farming today, so you might want to see my dad. Say hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. All right, so Brian is approaching full, and right there you can see his icon has turned red. Right there. Gleaner, 100%. I apologize for the focus. My cameraman here has set it to manual, and we're going to figure out how to fix that.
Been demoted. Back to the trucker life, I guess. Now, one of the neighbors came over and rode around with me. They actually just bought a Gleaner just like ours. That's 97. This is their first year with it. They haven't started yet, so they asked if they could come hang out and take a ride. So, I guess there'll be 2 of them this year down here. And oddly enough, they're also running a folding 12-row corn head with devastators even. So we got the first field here finished. I think we're going to work on that field right across the road that we had opened up yesterday. Don't know that we will finish it today, but we're going to start putting corn in the bin, so we could run a little longer today. Not 100% sure what the plans are. There's only one man around here that has any idea what the plans are. He's right there. We'll just have to wait and see. So we've got a couple loads over here in this holding bin. Brad dumped them before he went home. I am going to get this dryer fired up tonight. That's the plan. So it is about 5 o'clock now. It's just me and Dad. BJ had to go watch the Bengals lose to whoever they're playing tonight. And Dad sent Brad home, but I think him and I are going to run 2 loads while this dryer is drying, assuming this all works well, because we got 2 empty trucks. Come over here, and we're going to click start. Hopefully the igniters in this dryer ignite the fire to dry the corn, and all will be well. Now this is an old batch dryer. Very slow, but it still works. The one thing I need to know is the moisture. So Brad wrote down that we are 20.6 and the other one was 21. So with this dryer, each point of moisture means I need to leave it in there for 6 minutes. So trying to get this stuff down to at least 16%. So I need to take 5 points out of this corn. So to do that, do some math here. I'm gonna let it sit in there for 30 minutes. So I need to set a timer once the fire starts. I'll just have to show you, but basically turn the moisture controller all the way up so that it'll keep drying. Once we hit our 30-minute time, I go out there and turn the moisture controller till it kills the fire, and dryer's set. Well, Bertha fired up. Fingers crossed for a successful season. So this dryer was put in 74, wasn't it? Not the original?
76. The original was like a 300 bushel. It's a 12 foot. This is a 20 foot. It's a 16 foot. This is a 20 foot.
Okay, so apparently this one was put in 76. So it's getting close to 50 is what we're saying. So 50 years, same dryer. Well, it ain't really all that many. About 5 years ago, it had about 3.5 million bushels through it. And we've never put any augers in the bottom of it or the top of it that I know of, so. She's getting tired, but she's still running. Now, everybody I've talked to that sells dryers, if you can keep them covered and keep enough space to where there's not a lot of condensation on them, it will prolong the life of them substantially. Because really, there's not a lot to a dryer. Just perforated metal, a frame, and a few augers. They rust out, it's usually what happens to them. So while that batch is drying up, I'm gonna go dump the grain cart. It's completely full. Like I said, we got 2 empty trucks. I'll dump the cart on a truck. Probably pull one of the trucks around in here to start dumping tonight. I don't know how long we'll go, but Dad and I will go as long as we can, just the 2 of us. We want to get over the hill here. Let's see here, wait for the light to catch up. There's a hillside right here. Once we drop over the hill, it gets substantially wetter. We at least want to get this top ground up here because it's not staying real well. Less healthy corn, a little bit droughtier ground. And we have a hurricane coming in. Hurricane Ian, I think it is, Ivan, or whatever the heck it is. The one in Florida. It's supposed to get here in a couple days. It's going to be substantially weaker when it gets here, but that corn up top, the tops of it are already blowing out. We don't need 25-mile-an-hour winds on it. Let's see if I can't remember how to run the grain cart. It's been a while. Looks like BJ's running cart ace. Basically, cart ace, with that system, he is able to see what the combine's seeing from a yield and moisture standpoint. He's able to see where the combine is in the field, and especially once we get in beans, he'll be able to lock onto an AB line the combine's using, and we're all cruising at the same place.
Ryan's gonna dump on that truck. It's about 6:30. We're gonna do 2 more loads, load the cart and trucks. Now to do what we want to do up here on the hill. Probably all corn, maybe. BJ went to the Bengals game. So it's just me and Brian. Brad went home. I'll go. Got the dryer going, see how it's gonna go. I think it's gonna be okay. Looks like it's fired up.
We got that dumping here. One thing that's really nice about the Challenger tractors and the Fendt tractors on the grain cart is pedal mode. I can click that pedal, that button right there. The grain cart is in forward, like we're in first gear, or forward gear, I guess. And basically it's gonna stop when I let off that pedal. And that is just real nice on the grain cart. Leave that up there for Dad to dump into. Then once we get this dryer set, we'll shuffle a truck around and ride around the cart for a little bit, maybe. We'll see.
This field's the one that's variable rate. Some of them didn't have fertilized on. Said we didn't need any, and we keep stuff not putting any on it in the strip till bar, but and it shows up on the map too. Yeah, I better turn my GPS on. Forgot to turn the ag leader on. But it really shows up on the map, so the map comes up here, I'll show you. Okay, we got it loaded up here. You can see the map. See them colors. The green is 215 above. Light green is I think 190, 200 or something, 215 or something. But anyway, the orange is the worst. It's like 135. So it'd be interesting to see what the map when we get the field does. But looking out through it, you can see some here, a little wink, but you see some heavier stuff over there. Probably has fertilized on them. But it'll be interesting to see what get done, see what the yield map looks like.
We got one more minute. So right now we are dumping this corn into that overhead bin. That's #1 wet bin. It and #2 both have corn in them. We can probably hold this truck and part of another one, but basically they gravity feed this dryer when it calls for corn. Now we're cooling. We got our moisture controller up here set. This is what controls how long we put heat to the corn. And then now we're done heating the corn, we are drying it on a 20-minute cooling cycle. And we have the dryer on hold. If it wasn't on hold, it would automatically dump as soon as that 20 minutes is up. But we don't want to do that because we're dumping a truck in the leg. We can only do one thing at a time because we only have one leg here and no air system like at the other bin. Now we got to get a moisture sample. Dad got done what he wanted to get done. We're going to dump our dryer now. I want to see what kind of moisture we've got going on here in this dryer. Make sure we're set good. That way, if everything runs well, I don't know if we'll let it run all night or not. I'd like to see if he can do that and leave. We'll dry a couple batches tonight though. So way up here at the top of the leg, up there, is the distributor or the consigner, whichever one you want to call it. I think the old folks around here call it the consigner. This box right here is how we change that. I just changed it to go into this bin right here. This is bin #1. We will use this eventually as our holding bin. We will fill this thing with dry corn. We will pull the center out of it, which will make a funnel, like a cone of dry corn. Then we'll put wet corn in it and just keep our holding tanks overhead filled up. By doing this, we have about 16,000 bushels of wet storage capacity here, which is way more than the 3,800 bushel of wet storage capacity we have if we don't do that. Still not the most ideal, but it works. Now we're gonna come out here and take the dryer off hold. Here we go. There she is. Now we don't want to get a moisture sample right now. We want to get one right around the middle of the dryer. It's going to be the most consistent. If we get one too early, this corn's probably hotter because it's closer to the flame. If we get one too late, that corn's probably wetter because it's further from the flame. Try to get one in the middle. As long as you get one in the same spot, you're consistent. Consistency is king. Having an issue here. Got a fan motor. The motor itself was bad. So this is on the chopping block of things to happen Monday when the hurricane rolls in. We gotta go after a fan. This is our holding bin, so it definitely needs a fan. I thought the wiring had been eaten up, but nope, electrician said the fan's bad. Fortunately, it's about a 10-minute affair to unload and 10 minutes to load this dryer. So we're only drying it for 30 minutes. So we have a 20-minute cooling cycle, and then we have 20 minutes of loading and unloading. So it's about an hour and 10 minutes for every 400 bushel we gotta dry here. There we go. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm the greatest, but that's pretty good, especially for the first load. 15.2. I've been happy with anything under 16. Beautiful evening. So we are about 100 acres into corn harvest now. I'm really anxious to see what these other fields are like, because like I said, these fields, we didn't have a lot of high expectations and they're exceeding them. So I think we're gonna have some pretty decent crops. Like I've been telling people all along, I don't think we're gonna have 2021 numbers, because that was by far our best year. I think this will be a good year, a really good year. Probably should just quit speculating before I prove myself wrong. So we're gonna throw this thing in the barn. BJ can dump it in the morning. We're not gonna dump the trucks tonight. We're gonna let the dryers sit on hold. We will finish dumping that black truck just to get it out of the drive-thru and shut everything up. And that'll be it for tonight. So we might get the Lexion out tomorrow. It's going to depend entirely on how the weather looks, but we might switch over and do some beans before this hurricane gets rolling in. We really want to make sure everything's good on that combine, and we'd like to try some beans. So here at our area, I know some people do beans first and then they do corn. In our area, corn and beans are usually ready at about the same time, and it's very weather dependent on what people do. So we will do corn when it rains and we can't do beans, and we will do beans when we can. That's usually how we roll. I mean, if it's one of them things where if it looked like it was going to rain Saturday, tomorrow's Friday, we just stay in corn. Looks like it's going to rain Sunday night though, so might be able to get a couple 100 acres of beans knocked out, or 100 acres of beans, or something knocked out. Thanks for watching, folks. If you would, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Brian's Farming Videos. Thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Leave us a comment, and we'll see you in the next video.